Steve the Plaster Man here today, and we are in Telford, Tennessee at the Telford Ruritan Club. And this young man here with me is Carl Daniels.
That's right.
And he is the president of the Ruritan Club. Is that correct?
That's right. You got the young part right too.
And the young part. So guys, the reason we're doing this little shoot here, I can't remember that well. It might have been 10 years ago or so. Anyway, we had a bad, heavy snow, and it did some damage to the roof, and it caved in and did some damage to the plaster inside. And they called me, and we was able to come down and help them out, get the plaster restored. And I was amazed then, because I love the history, and I'm always going around saying, let's save our history. Well, this is a prime example of saving our historical places and utilizing them. This is not just something that's just sitting beside the road. As you will see later, they have a ball field, they have a walking trail. They're doing a barbecue supper tonight. It is benefiting the community. We're saving this 1939 beautiful school. It was the Telford School. And if you don't mind to walk us through, okay. And here's another thing. You told me you actually went to school here.
I did.
What year did you remember what what grade you were in when you started?
Well, I guess I was, no, I don't. I was in the 7th grade when they opened up Westview.
You went here until so you probably started in 1st grade or so,
oh, yeah.
I imagine.
Well, yeah, and they didn't have all the stuff they got nowadays. It just started 1st grade, and I went through here to the 7th grade, and then they opened up Westview for our 8th grade, and that's where I finished grade school.
Well, guys, this is just wonderful. We are hopefully documenting your childhood, this school, this wonderful town of Telford. Hopefully it will be preserved for all eternity, and any stories you might want to tell about this. But this is just a prime example of saving our history. Well, guys, let's go take a walk through. Righty, Carl and Mr. Banks, if you want to lead me on in.
These were actually classrooms. These are the original doors.
The original doors, the 1939 doors.
You see them, they've got numbers on them,
like they had when they were.
Put this in the should have.
See? Now that's
room number 5.
That's really cool.
Yeah, all these doors have got the original numbers on them.
Wow. And look at this wide open hallway. I mean, this just feels like walking through time. And it's also something else about these old buildings, not just the feel, the sound, the echo, and the smells, the wonderful wood smells, the natural smells. Now here's something else. This is Mr. Jeff Banks, and he's a relative newer member to the Ruritan Club, 5, 6 years old, but this is what is important. Younger people getting involved to carry on, keeping these things functioning, keeping our communities. That is what it's all about. And I want to appreciate that.
I'm a younger person.
And also, he is also a veteran, Air Force retired, it looks like.
It's Arctic Blonde.
Arctic Blonde, okay. So guys, let's come on through here.
And so show you the auditorium.
Oh yeah.
The original auditorium. And we have music in here occasionally.
Okay.
And community meetings.
Yes.
The acoustics that you were mentioning are pretty nice in here too.
That
when I went to school here, they used to have some shows and stuff. If anybody ever remembers, Bonnie Lou and Buster, that's from ever ago. They used to come here all the time and put on shows for us.
Really?
Bonnie Lou and Buster, and I can't remember anything. The guy, the cowboy, had the. Did you know who I'm talking about?
Roy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, are you talking about,
Leroy Rogers?
No.
Roy Rogers, I mean.
Anyway, no, it wasn't Roy Rogers, but there was a cowboy.
yeah,
And he's come here and put on shows for us.
really?
Yeah, we had some people come here.
And they would do it for the school or for the community?
Well, the community, we had big shows here.
Right.
That was a big thing, because I was little, but they used to have these shows here all the time.
So it wasn't just a school, but it was also a community center then for people of the town, and they would come and have shows here.
Well, it really wasn't the community center, but the school would put these shows on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As I remember when I was real young, sometimes the whole community would come out for a little thing.
Yeah.
And that is the fabric of small town America. That is part of what pulls us together.
Mhm.
I love that, and I love that you remember that.
This
That
is an
really-
interesting artifact on the wall over here. If you see this sign, back in 1986, during the bicentennial celebrations in Tennessee,
Yes.
there were only 130 communities around the state that were recognized as official homecoming communities, and Telford was one of them. And this sign is sort of a remnant of that.
Wow,
1986.
that's another cool little tidbit right there.
Yeah.
These old buildings are cool, but when you breathe life into them, when you are keeping these stories alive and keeping this memories and working with all this, that is what it's all about. I mean, I really want to push on how important it is that not only are you saving the history, but you all are teaching the history and preserving it, teaching it, passing it on. And these, when we go out to the ball field, you said that they're Little League actually still playing. How many of them, when they are 50 years old, are going to remember that you all help them, and they are going to want to help preserve?
And hopefully as many as possible.
Yeah.
So,
We had some big kids, big people, ball teams.
yeah,
And let me show you something else. That wall back there wasn't there. They put that there to make another room for different things after the school was closed.
right,
But see these doors that closed?
yes.
They had 2 classrooms.
So those are original doors?
Those were the original
Oh,
doors.
wow. Can I go back and look at it?
Oh, sure you can. And we have, in our classrooms we had, the kitchen would bring us orange juice every day
Really?
in this room. Yeah.
Now see, that is a special memory.
It
You're
is.
remembering,
Yeah.
you're remembering your childhood. Now, do you mind if I ask how young you are right now?
Yeah, I just turned 78.
Okay, you're still young. But when you were a child, you remember drinking orange juice
Yeah.
in this room.
Yeah.
That is a super cool memory. Wow. The original doors,
Yeah.
bifold pocket doors, as we call them, that are still functional. I mean, you all have done a tremendous job maintaining, keeping this wonderful school intact and functioning. And it takes, and I gotta mention, it takes money. That's why you've got to be working, doing fundraisers, and people, do not be afraid to donate to your local communities, the local historical societies. They are doing a tremendous job. Let's try to remember, if you have the ability, it's really important. Let's keep up, and I think we got a little more to look at. Now, we do.
Well, we'll tell you about this. We rented this whole thing to a church. They were building a new church. We rented
Yes.
this to them. So they built this wall, and they had a kind of kitchen and storage room back there for their food and everything.
Right.
Because they distributed food. So
And they were doing their part for the community also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another tidbit of history, if you see that old sign hanging up back there, it says Washington County
Yes.
Cannery. The old cannery was started back in the mid-1970s, and there were only 3 sites in all of Northeast Tennessee. One was in Sneedville, one was in Marshtown, and one was here in Telford. And the way it was set up is so that people that needed the extra help could come here and get actual cans for $0.10 a piece and can their garden produce.
Yes.
Or their whatever, pork, sausage. And
I have heard about, now we live about an hour or so away, but I have even we had heard my grandmother and stuff talk about the cannery.
Okay.
So how many families do you think benefited actually helping feed their families by the use of this cannery that was in this?
I couldn't begin to tell you how many.
Thousands,
Yeah,
hundreds.
yeah, then
I mean,
thousands.
it was a
Community.
very, and listen, I know nowadays it's a little easier to go to the store, but in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it was not as easy. I know a lot of people in these, the more rural regions had a little more trouble with the food supply. So this was a very, very beneficial thing. Now, I have to ask, are these the original lockers?
Yes, they are. Original blackboard.
The original blackboard.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, did you ever have to write a, what would it be called? I promise I will not pee in the grass.
Well,
Did you ever write a penalty on this blackboard?
the times I wasn't getting the whipping, I was writing.
Okay.
You know, they said those had trees out there. And I've got more than my share. They go out there and give a switch on the trees.
That was the old
I
days.
got more than my whipping.
Oh,
That's a long, long time ago.
wow.
See, and there's lockers in those other rooms. You just didn't see.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I don't know how they.
Well, they're
Don't
old.
break it.
They're old.
1939 lockers.
Yeah.
Still in good condition.
just needs a little WD-40.
A little WD-40. And look, they actually have hangers.
Yeah.
They have hangers. All kinds of hangers. I need those in my closet. That is just super cool. Guys, this is a treasure trove of history.
This classroom over on the right here, that was like our original. You know,
So this would have been what we would call your home room.
yeah, the middle floor. Right now it's our storage room. But you see this chimney here? That's the heat that we had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a stove here.
Yeah.
This was our heat for this classroom.
Right. I wonder what kind of stove was it? Like one of those pot-bellied?
Well, no, it is big round thing.
Yeah.
It probably had a different stove in it.
Right.
But,
Did you burn wood or coal? Do you remember?
coal.
Coal. Yeah.
Yeah, the coal
And
was
that-
brought to us in truckloads.
And that's what heated it in here.
Yeah.
And guys, it's still in good shape. You've kept it dry. You've kept it good in good shape. Yeah, they might be a little repair work at some day we need to come down and do, but you've kept. The flooring, the more lockers in here, and this was your classroom.
This is my home room.
That not many people get to stand in their classroom when they were elementary.
And that other classroom I told you where it had the two, right that next to us down there.
Yeah,
See, they've got lockers too also.
they all have lockers in.
Yeah.
That is just
Yeah.
super.
And these ladies and men restrooms were added because when I went to school here, it took me forever to get these. Our restrooms was outside.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you had
wooden and our where we threw our trash, where we talked in the kitchen,
yeah.
had a big long probably as long as this here. And real wide and deep, that's
Incinerator.
right. Stuff we burned, that's where all the trash and kitchen and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's where it went.
Yeah. I remember one of those.
You see, we had sinks there.
Yeah. Now, where was the playground at? When you went to school here? But, so, this is the field that y'all have the Little League in. And I'm gonna tell you, as somebody that knows, and it is difficult to find fields for these young people to play in. My daughter played in some little leagues like that, and actually I think it was Little League, and it's difficult to find the places to play, you know. And so anybody, and this is a beautiful field. This is a great place. You've got stands. Just to add a little history to it, back in in the 1940s, each town around here had their own team made up of adult members from within the community, and the folks here in 1942, I believe it was, John McFeature was that's Edna McFeature's husband, was the team manager. And Really?
He played catcher, and his brother Charlie played first base. And they played over at Mountain Home Soldiers
Yes.
Field, now known as Mountain Home VA Medical Center. And they also played as far away as up into Virginia, up around Homeacre and such, and
Well,
all around the area.
we have heard of the different leagues, and the men's leagues and the women leagues and things, and that's a cool thing. So in the 40s there was a league here, and so they played here then too.
Yep, there was a young man, his name was Tilly Walker, and he played ball for Telford for a little bit before he was picked up by a league over in North Carolina, and then he was picked up by St. Louis, and then he played for Kansas City. He also played in Washington, D.C., but he ended up playing for the Red Sox up in Boston.
Really?
His name was Tilly Walker, and he's from right here in Telford.
From here in Telford, and he is a major league player. Now that's another cool fact.
Played right here on this ball field.
All right, so guys, here we are, and as you see, they're preparing some food tonight. They're having a barbecue supper, and like this young man is telling, these are things that help support the funding. It helps support the community, and here's a piece of paper that tells a little more about that sort of thing. And remember, this is the Telford Ruritan Club, and this is the old Telford School, constructed in 1939. So, guys, also remember, we love what they've done with this old school and maintaining, and you know, I love history. This is the example of saving our history. Also, remember, don't be afraid to help donate funds. These people, I know you don't know all, we've not told all, but they've helped countless people in the community. They do a lot of things that they don't get recognition for. But if anybody would be interested in donating or anything, how do they get in touch with? Just look up the Telford Ruritan Club, come see you, or
Come see Carl.
come see Carl. We really appreciate it. I appreciate you letting us come and be a part of this.
We appreciate you too.
We
Thanks for taking
appreciate
the time
all
to
the
come.
ones we've done. Now look, there's tons of people behind the scenes that don't want to be videoed, don't want their name mentioned. They deserve the recognition as much as anybody. So, Steve's Plaster Man, catch you on the next one.